use the following words by saying labbaik, but in our hearts we are actually saying labbaik, oh Allah, praise it for my God. That's what you said, you're saying labbaik, Ya Allah, praise it. This morning, Fajr, when the adhan went off, when you stood up at the very early parts of the morning, and may Allah strengthen our Fajr, inshallah, Ameen. May Allah strengthen the Fajr of the community of South Africa, inshallah, Ameen. Fajr is becoming very early. May Allah strengthen us all, inshallah, Ameen. To make it on time, inshallah, in the best of times, it's pleasing unto Him, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ameen, Rabbul Alameen. But when we respond, we say labbaik. Right? When we respond, we say labbaik. The Prophet ﷺ says, Allah reminds us in the Quran, amongst the special elite believers in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah says about them, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى صَلَاتِهِمْ دَائِمُونَ. Those special selected slaves of Allah that has high ranks before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are those believers that are always in salah. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى صَلَاتِهِمْ دَائِمُونَ. They are always in salah. Yo, that's etiquette. Are you always in salah? That's a bit too much. Always in salah. If you think about it literally, always in salah is a lot. So when it's time to rest, if I'm always in salah? But it doesn't literally mean always in salah. That doesn't literally mean that you're standing for salah, all 24 hours. No. But it's the yearning of the one salah to the next salah that allows you to always be in salah. You know that? So we may do it now. And I can't wait for Asr. I have this yearning for Asr. Then I finish my Asr. And I can't wait for Maghrib. You know, Maghrib may come actually in now. I can't wait for Maghrib. Isha, I just finished my Maghrib. And you're so excited for Isha. And after Isha, when you go to your room or to your bed, right? And you go to sleep, and then you're restless. Because, am I going to wake up for Fajr? I need to wake up. I can't wait to wake up. So you yearn, and you yearn, and you yearn until you fall asleep. And then who wakes you up? Then Allah wakes you up. Because your yearning was so strong that Allah wakes you up. No, Shaykh, the alarm wake me up. But who let you hear the alarm? Did you wind up so that your ears can operate at a time where it's not supposed to operate? You didn't wind your ears and put your ears on a timer. At 4:15, listen. At 4:15, open. La. Who did that? Who did that? It's Allah. Did you wind up and set your alarm on your body that at 4:15 open your ears to hear? You didn't do that. You didn't do that. At 4:15 open your eyes to see. You didn't do that. Everything is in Allah's hands. Everything is in Allah's control. Your hearing is in Allah's control. Your sight is in Allah's control. Your speech is in Allah's control. Your movements in Allah's control. You're sitting now. Who is allowing you to sit comfortably? If you're not sitting comfortably, you can sit on the floor if you want also. But who allows you to sit comfortably? Allah. Allah is allowing you to sit comfortably. You think you now, because you have now a liquor chair. Okay, I got the liquor chair. Now you're sitting comfortably because now you got the liquor chair. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is doing everything for you. You are actually doing nothing. You're doing nothing. Everything you do is done by Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not only for you, but for the billions of people in the world believing in Allah or disbelieving in Allah. Allah is in control of everyone. Allah is in control of everyone subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one does anything except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who's in control of it subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything is in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hands. And hence that yearning, like we said, that yearning is important. That yearning for an action, so that you could possibly be always in salah. May Allah give us to always be in salah, inshallah. Always in salah. Now that we're sitting here and you know about this story, and you know about this situation of yearning, make a niyyah now for Asr, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, I hope to be in good spirit for my Asr, inshallah. Ya Allah, I hope that this Asr that is going to about to come to us very soon, O Allah, that I am connecting to you to the best of my way, O Allah. That I can connect to Rasulullah, that I can connect to the companions of Rasulullah, can I connect to the awliya and salihin, I can connect to being close to you, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yearn for that. So remember, now he says about this blind lady that traveled, coming back to the story, traveled from Yemen. So, Yemen is not too far, but also not too near. Yemen with a flight from Yemen to Saudi is about 2.5 hours, 2 hours. By land, the bus takes about 26 hours, 27 hours. By caravan, Allah knows best. Maybe like a week, 2 weeks maybe. Right? Over 2,000 kilometers. How long do you walk to take 2,000 kilometers? 2,500 kilometers? Long? This uncle used to teach maths for 50 years and telling me long. You retired, right? Then I wonder you retired. Allah bless all our teachers, inshallah. Ameen. Allah benefit them from their teaching in this world and the year after, inshallah. Ameen. La ilaha illallah. So like the uncle said, it takes long. So this lady, this blind lady, she walks from Yemen. She walks from Yemen. Right? And blind, huh? So she's walking with a group of people and they stop. And then she asks, Ain Bayt Rabbi? Ain Bayt Rabbi? Where's Allah's house? And I just walked a little bit and said, okay, Kareeb, very near, don't worry, very near. And they walk 2-3 days later. And she says, Ain Bayt Rabbi? Where's Allah's house? And they said, very near. Almost, very near. And they walk another 2-3 days. And she's like, Ain Bayt Rabbi, where's Allah's house? They say, very near. Until they eventually reach close to the Kaaba. La ilaha illallah. May Allah grant us the gaze upon the Kaaba, inshallah. In case I forget, the gaze upon the Kaaba is important. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, 120 mercies descend upon the Kaaba every day. 60 for those that perform tawaf, 40 for those that are engaged in salah, and 20 of those that just looked at the Kaaba. Habib Qadim, he mentions and he says, let every gaze be your first gaze. Look and close your eyes, and look and close your eyes, and look and close your eyes, so that every gaze is your first gaze. May Allah grant us the gaze upon the Kaaba, inshallah. The dua is mustajab, but the gaze of the Kaaba. When you look at the Kaaba. La ilaha illallah. So she was very near her. And she asked the question, Ain Bayt Rabbi, where's the Kaaba? Where's Allah's house? She said, Kareeb. Very near, like, literally, just there. And she asked someone to take a hand, take her to the Kaaba. And they take her to the Kaaba. And she raises her hands against the Kaaba. Puts her face against the Kaaba. And she makes shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for bringing her to the Kaaba, and she dies. Imam Nawawi says that is the yearning a believer should have. That's the yearning a believer should have. That you are so spiritually overwhelmed by that Kaaba that you are unable to control yourself, that the next best thing is for you to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah granted our meeting with Allah with the kalimat La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Some Buddhas look a bit scared, they don't want, inshallah, we're going to come home, inshallah. But you get the idea? That's the yearning for that Kaaba. A Kaaba is not something small. It's not a fashion statement also that I've reached. But that Kaaba is Mubarak. Allah says, إِنَّ أَوَّلَ بَيْتٍ وُضِعَ لِلنَّاسِ لَلَّذِي بِبَكَّةَ Mubarak. Allah says, the Makkah is another name for Makkah. Allah says, Makkah is Mubarak. The Kaaba is Mubarak. La ilaha illallah. So before we speak about the Kaaba, you said that we need to speak about the Meeqat. So I'm going to read the hadith with regards to the Meeqat. Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, Inna Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam waqqata li ahli al-Madinah. When we speak about the Meeqat, Meeqat refers to the boundaries of the entering of Makkah. So the Meeqat for Cape Town is where? Where is the boundary of Cape Town? The boundary of Cape Town. No, Cape Town. No, we're not there. We're not traveling yet. We're still in Cape Town. Probably Booster, right? The Meeqat of Cape Town is probably Booster, right? The entry of the Cape is probably Booster, right? Or where is that? No, not Booster. Where is that place where they say, welcome to the Western Province? No, it's far. You drive on the N2 and then you see that board. You don't have to actually look at the board, you can just look at the top on the road. The one side is black and the other one side is broken. Where is that place? You know where I'm talking about. So that's possibly the Meeqat for entering the Western Cape. Right? And if you go this way down the M7, right, until you no longer in the Western Cape, then again you see that two different color shades of tar. The one is dark and the one is light. So you'll know that you just exit also the Western Cape. So we also have a few Meeqats around Cape Town. We have a Meeqat on the M7. We have a Meeqat on the N1. Where's the Meeqat on the N1? Probably Bloemfontein, right? Beaufort. After Beaufort is not part of Asna. Yeah, then there's also a Meeqat. And then you get here this N2 one. Probably when you reach.
After Plate.
After what? After Nyasa?
Plettenberg.
After Plettenberg, yes. The road color change, right? Yeah, that's also Meeqat. And this way towards Simonstown. I usually say after Simonstown is Jannah. Because what's after Simonstown is nothing anyway. After the ocean is Jannah. May Allah enter us into Jannah. We actually the closest to Jannah. Allahu Akbar. May Allah give us Jannah, inshallah. What's the Meeqat of Simonstown? Probably the ocean. But you get the drift. You get the idea of what the boundary area of a certain province, of a certain area, right? Of a certain district. So there are 4 different boundary areas for entering the district of Makkah, right? For those that are local, there's a different boundary, and for those that are coming outside, there's a different boundary, right? So perhaps maybe we could translate it as those that are coming from outside the Western Cape. Those 3 boundaries that we mentioned that is their Meeqat. For us locals, that is not generally a Meeqat for us, that's a bit too far. Right? So our Meeqat would possibly be, maybe in Booster or something. Because that's like when you're now really exiting Cape Town. Right? That could possibly be a local Meeqat. Right? Similarly, the Ahl al-Madinah, the Prophet ﷺ says, the Meeqat of the Ahl al-Madinah is Bir Ali. And Bir Ali is about 25 minutes max outside Medina. So from here where we are, Pelican Park is actually very far. From the M5 in Rossi Park to a 25 minutes drive is probably after Belleville, right? Durbanville, Belleville. So that's how far that Meeqat is for the Ahl al-Madinah. That's for the locals of Medina. And that's for the people that came to Medina first, like we did now. We went to Medina first, so we'll have to leave Medina to go to Makkah, and that's the Meeqat that we have to stop by. That would take us now into a position where we're going to have to change into a different sanctity towards the holy Kaaba, the Baytullah. So our niyyah is different. Our traveling situation is different. We now become a musafir, I travel for niyyah of Ihram, etc., etc., etc. I will explain later. So for the people of Medina is Bir Ali. Lil Ahl Sham, for the people that are coming from Sham, and Sham is Syria, Damascus, those areas, they have a different Meeqat. There we go, Shami. That one, Shami. You see Rukn Shami? So those people that are coming from this side of the world, from Iraq, from Syria, Damascus, all those, they have a different Meeqat. Their Meeqat is known as Juhfa. It's also not too far from Makkah, but because they're coming from outside, that is also their Meeqat. Then there's another Meeqat which is also for the Yemenis. Yemen is in line with Africa, right? Yemen is in line with Africa. And in South Africa, the salah that we made now was towards the Rukn Yamani. Our Qibla in South Africa is this one here. Is it on the screen? You can see that? It's so big here. But you can see it, right? This is our Qibla in South Africa. We facing the Rukn Yamani. So there was one day where we were actually standing right here in front of the Rukn Yamani making salah. So one of the boys said that, Sheikh, today I'm the Imam of the whole Africa. because we face, all of us we face Rukn Yamani, right? Everyone in Africa is facing Rukn Yamani. All of Africa faces Rukn Yamani. Even Egypt, even though they sometimes consider not to be part of Africa, but they're part of Africa, they also facing the Rukn Yamani. Even Morocco. Morocco maybe not. Morocco is this side, right? Morocco is this side. Possibly Rukn Yamani or possibly Rukn Shami. But okay, everybody this side of Africa going up, even Yemen. And this is in the direction of Yemen, and hence it's known as the Rukn Yamani, in the direction of Yemen. That's number 3. And then there's another Meeqat. For those people here, the Iraqi corner, for the people that are facing Iraq, or the Iraqis that are facing the Kaaba, Qarn al-Manazil. We went there already. Qarn al-Manazil, I think we went there last year. That Meeqat is facing in the direction of Iraq, and usually the people of Dubai and Emirates and those people, they use that Meeqat. Which is the boundary for them, for the entrance of, the entrance for them towards the sacred place of Makkah al-Mukarram. The one we will be using will be either this one if you're going directly to Makkah, which is the Rukn Yamani, or from the Yemeni side. You will pass the Meeqat, which is known as the Uncle said, which is known as Ya Lam Lam. You fly over it, mashallah. The uncles look so beautiful in their blue, Allahu Akbar. I didn't know we were supposed to dress in blue today, was Allahu Akbar. Wow, looking so mashallah. Allah beautify ourselves inward and outward, inshallah, ameen. So we pass the Meeqat, if you're going to Makkah first, we pass the Meeqat which is known as Ya Lam Lam, where you fly over it, and that would be our boundary towards entering of Makkah to Mukarramah. The one you're going to normally do, because you do a Hajj, this will be spoken about that later, you'll be doing a Hajj which is called a Hajj Tamattu', which is a Hajj in where you perform an Umrah prior to the Hajj to relieve yourself from Ihram to go back into Ihram during the days of Hajj. I said it right? So you go into Ihram to remove yourself from Ihram, to go back into Ihram, the days of Hajj, which is known as a Hajj Tamattu', which Rasulullah actually performed, which was the Hajj Tamattu'. And because of the Hajj Tamattu', because you're coming into Makkah with Ihram, to remove your Ihram, to go back into Ihram, there is a dam that you need to pay. Also, according to Ahnaf, it's known as dam shukr, that you need to pay for that you have done, entering into Makkah. With Ihram, to remove Ihram, to come back into Ihram, but we'll speak about that on another time, inshallah, ameen. So that's the Meeqat. More than that, it's not necessary to know, because it becomes very complicated afterwards, with the Meeqat of Makan, the Meeqat of Zaman, Meeqat of place, Meeqat of time. Now, yeah, so those are the 4 Meeqats. So we will enter, inshallah, through the Meeqat of which one in Medina? Bir Ali, Dhul Hulayfa, also known as Abrar Ali, well of Ali, or Bir Ali, well of Ali, which is outside of Medina to Munawwara. Is there anything else with regards to the Meeqat before we go on? I wanted to say something, but I don't want to become too complicated because I'm not sure when this is going to be discussed. If I can just check quickly, just give me a second. Seeing that we all left Medina now, so the next class will be speaking about the Umrah. But seeing that we are at the Meeqat, for the sake of coming into Ihram at the Meeqat, how is this done? So we'll go through it very quickly, right? Because next week you're going to be speaking about the Tawaf, but we are now at the Meeqat. So picture yourself at the Meeqat. So what do you do at the Meeqat? When you get to the Meeqat, you can do one of two things. The one which is not recommended is that you bathe at the Meeqat, you clothe yourself at the Meeqat in your Ihram, then you make your 2 rak'at salah at the Meeqat, and then you make your niyyah at the Meeqat. So half of that is not recommended. The first half. Why I say the first half is because this is now a reality, even though this can be done, right? It's not wrong. I never said it's wrong. I just said it's not preferred to be doing it like this because of the masses. So generally what we usually do is, we're now in Medina, don't get confused, right? We're in Medina, right? And we're going to the Meeqat because we need to perform our Umrah in Makkah. So what we usually recommend is, make the ghusl at the hotel. Clothe yourself at the hotel. Then we leave to the Meeqat, and when we get there, all we need to do is just make the 2 rak'ahs of salah and the niyyah. Is the other way correct? Both are correct. But what is more efficient is the second than the first. Because the first one, you may be unnecessary, causing a delay. Right? You may not be so comfortable in using the bathrooms. Because you want to now make yourself look very nice, but the bathroom don't look very nice. So you want to make yourself look very nice, but the bathroom don't look so very nice. So to save yourself from the trauma, you decide, you know what, I'm rather going to do the bath at the hotel, dress myself at the hotel, and when we do all go to the Meeqat, I'm just going to make my salah, the 2 rak'at sunnahs of Ihram, which is going to be explained later. Right? You don't have to know that today. I'm just giving you the breakdown. Right? 2 rak'at of salah that you're going to be making sunnah of Ihram. Then you're going to make the niyyah, I intend to perform Umrah in the state of Ihram, Lillahi Ta'ala. That's what you also decide at the Meeqat. Once that niyyah is made at the Meeqat, this will be discussed again. I'm just giving you a breakdown. I'll repeat it again now. Then you must remember all that which was halal for you is now haram for you. So there's a different do's and don'ts after you in the state of Ihram. That's part 1. Part 2 is, and this is part 3. So you understood part 1. Part 1 is A and a B. B is recommended. A is not so recommended. Part 2 is, for those that are traveling, of course some people, I see my cousin is also here, they're traveling for Umrah in December. They will not be going to Medina first, they will be going to Makkah first. So where do they make the ghusl? So just for the sake of information, I'll go through it quickly. They will make the ghusl at home in Cape Town. They will make the 2 rak'at salah at home in Cape Town. Right? And then they will get dressed in Cape Town, or they can get dressed in the first destination of the transit, either Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, or they go to Dubai, or they go to Qatar, or wherever the first destination, they get dressed over there. Then when they're in the plane will fly over the Meeqat, which is either going to be, like we said, the Bir Ali one, or it's either going to be the Cotton al-Manazil one, or it's going to be, like the uncle said here, it's going to be the Ya Lamlam one. Whichever one they fly over, they're going to make an announcement, and at that time when the announcement is made, you make the niyyah, I intend to perform Umrah for the sake of Allah, Lillahi Ta'ala, Bismillah, now I'm in Ihram. That's number 2. Number 3, so we gave number 1. Number 1 was, we're leaving Medina, there's an A and a B. B is better, in the room, Number 2, you're leaving from here, straight to Makkah, do everything at home, just make the niyyah in the plane. Or you could even make the salah, if your transit is long, you can make the salah in Dubai. You can make salah in Qatar. You can make the salah in Addis. All depends on your time, you just check your time for the transit. Right? Number 3 is, What's the number 3? So it's also part of number 2, sorry. Part of number 2 is that some people have this lounge access. Right? So wherever you go, whichever country, then you don't necessarily have to bath in South Africa. You know your transit is 5-6 hours, with the lounge access, you're going to go take a bath there, you're going to dress somebody there, everything there, blah, 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 and so on. Tamam? But we'll get to that inshallah, just to give you an idea as to what usually takes place at the Meeqat. Oh, there is a number 3. So the number 3 is, I just remember. So the number 3 is that what if you don't go to the Meeqat? The first instance when we go to Medina, the first scenario, we're going to the Meeqat, right? The second scenario, are we going to the Meeqat with a plane? We are flying over. So are we going there? No. There's a third scenario also where you actually also are there but not going there. So when you go with the train, right? When you go with the train, which is highly recommended for you to do, save the extra money, cost you about 800, 900 rand, but it's for the sake of convenience. Firstly, you're not going to be tired when you reach Makkah. Secondly, you're not going to miss anything along the way because the train goes past the same road that the highway drives past. Someone said, now I'm going to go for the scenery. It's the same scenery that the bus is going to see. The bus is just going to drive slow and the train is going to go fast. It's the same scenery. Right? So sometimes you don't have to necessarily go to the Meeqat. So you bath in the room, you dress in the room, make the salah in the room, you go to the train station, and within 2-3 minutes, the time the guy announced, we are now passing the Meeqat, please make niyyah. You make the niyyah, and then you go towards Makkah. But what we usually do is, especially if you're there for the first time, to skip the feeling of going to a Meeqat, even though you are going with the train, then the guy is going to announce after you pass the Meeqat, just for the sake of, I don't want to use the wrong term, you see this on recording now, I must count your words. For the sake of the buzz, or the gees, or just the feeling of going to the Meeqat and how I don't have to be there at the Meeqat. I can go to the train station, he's going to pass the Meeqat, he's going to announce, I don't have to be there. But just for the sake of the buzz and the feeling, and I've been there, mashallah, and da-da-da, we take the people to the Meeqat. And then we take them to the train station. Right? La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's a bit off topic now, but just for the sake of now for your information, because we're discussing Meeqat, that now just came up with regards to the 3 different scenarios with regards to the Meeqat. Is there anything else before we go on with regards to the Meeqat? Yes.
Just a question. If you go to the Meeqat from Medina, can you come back into Medina or must you immediately leave the area of Medina?
So you're saying that if you go to the Meeqat, make your salah, come back to the hotel and no. When you go to the Meeqat, it means that you're leaving. Yeah. Medina. You go to the Meeqat to come back into Medina. Yeah, possibly. What do you want to go do back in Medina? Maybe fetch your bag or something. Possibly you could. I'm just thinking now, like if you go to the Meeqat, right? You go make the 2 rakat salah, you make the niyyah, right? From there you head towards either the train station or the bus is leaving towards Makkah.
And you maybe have time short and you may be in Ihram, but you want to go and greet Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam one more time in Ihram.
Oh no. Your last greeting should, generally it's recommended that your last greeting should be that you are leaving on your way out of Medina. Because now what you're technically doing is that you want to leave Medina, but bid farewell to Rasulullah after you already intended to leave Medina to come back into Medina. So it would be better that you intend to leave Medina, than to leave Medina to come back to Medina. Right? And Allah knows best. The other one is that if you are in Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad, if you are in Makkah, there's another Meeqat. for the locals of Makkah. So we go to Makkah, right? There's another Meeqat. So for example, people say, I want to go for a second Umrah. As an example. Right? Yeah, this thing is recording me. I don't like the record. But Allah knows best. Yeah. So usually, not usually, sometimes there is a notion that goes about to say that you're not allowed to make another Umrah on your Hajj. You will get this. You will get this. You're not allowed to make another Umrah after you perform your Umrah, because the next time you're going to go into Ihram must be for your Hajj. That is perhaps maybe in a view of some, but then we just tend to differ with regards to that, because it's Nawafil now. And Nawafil, there's no restrictions. Is there restriction to a Nafil? I can make as much Nafil as I want. So someone may argue to say that did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam do it? So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi used to make 1,000 rak'ahs of salah daily. How much? 1,000 rak'ahs of nafil daily. Did Rasulullah make 1,000 rak'ahs nafil daily? I don't know. I don't know if there's a hadith they say the Prophet made 1,000 rak'ahs nafil. So why is Imam Abu Hanifa not following the Prophet? Why is Imam Abu Hanifa doing his own thing? Making 1,000 nafils. The Prophet didn't make 1,000 nafil. Nafil has no restrictions. Everything the Prophet didn't do doesn't mean you can't do. Everything the Prophet didn't do doesn't mean you can't do. Everything good is good, isn't it? And if someone discourages you from doing good, who is he? Shaitan. Imagine someone who tells you, don't bacha Quran. Oh, you must have Shaitan. Imagine someone tell you, look here, don't bacha. Look here, don't make the Quran, don't make the Quran, don't make the Quran. You must have Shaitan. How can you tell me not to do something good? Don't give sadaqah. Don't. Sorry, Tamam. So what were we saying? We were saying about the second one. Yes, so the second one. The second one was the one just outside Makkah, which is known as Masjid Aisha. So you want to make like a second Umrah. There's a Meeqat that's just outside Makkah, 150-20 minutes away, just outside Makkah, which is known as Masjid Aisha. And then you can go perform the Umrah and so on, and put the Ihram, like we said in the room. Any other question with the Ihram? Let's go to the Kaaba now. Meeqat, sorry, not Ihram, Meeqat. Ihram is another Meeqat. Yes, Meeqat. Not Meeqat?
The 40 Salah.
Oh, the 40 Salah.
The 5 Salah that you must make.
In Medina? In Medina? The 40 Salah in Medina?
Is it the 5 only or is it any other?
Yeah. So that's general. One Salah in Medina is sufficient. To make one Salah in Medina is enough for you to enter Jannah. Allah grant us Jannah, inshallah. One Salah in Medina is enough. One Nafil in Medina is enough. One Raka'ah Salah is enough. But the Prophet ﷺ highlights the hadith with regards to the performing of the 40 Salah. And that's how some of our scholars have mentioned that is not specifically for the Haram of Medina, even though it's mentioned about Medina. But it's a general hadith that speaks about 40 Salah anyway. 40 Faraid. Even at your home. being consistent on 40 salah in your city. 5 times or 40 salahs, being consistent, and so reward is received, and so on and so on. So, should I be making, because this is usually what the question is also, part of your question is, should I be making 40? What if I miss out to 40? Am I going to get sick for not making 40? One salah is sufficient. If you're there for 40, alhamdulillah. If you're not there for 40, you get more than 40. But it is generally, like you said, that 40 refers to the fara'id. So, what I usually recommend is that if you really want to make 40 and your package or your budget doesn't allow you to be there for 40, then generally what you're supposed to be doing is, after every farz salah, make another farz salah. Because you must ask the guy with the maths, the sheikh maths. We must capitalize in places of good, right? So I know, and you know, there was a salah in my life, or in your life, that I probably never had proper abdas. Right? What's the reward of making salah in Medina? They spoke about it last week. What's the reward? Huh? No. We must do a repeat of that clause. The reward for Medina is what? 1,000 to 10,000. The reward for Makkah is 100,000. The reward for the Aqsa is 500. 500 for Aqsa, 1,000 to 10,000 in Medina, and 100,000 in Makkah. So if you think about it now nicely, 100,000 in Makkah. If I make an extra dua after my dua, I just made qada of 100,000 duas. If I make an extra asr after my asr, I technically just made a qada of 100,000 asrs. So that's like an opportunity you mustn't miss out on. In Medina, if you made one salah and you stand up for another salah, you're going to get reward for another 1,000 salah. And I'm sure that all of us, or one of us, or some of us, made a salah without the abdas one day. At least that salah is going to make up for that one. That's how much hope you should have in Allah. May Allah grant us that, inshallah. That's raja, that's like high hopes in Allah. And you should have high hopes in Allah. You should have high hopes in Allah. Don't think of Allah as something small. You should have high aspirations in Allah. Ya Allah, this salah I'm going to make now. I know the reward is 1,000 or maybe 10,000. Ya Allah, please accept this salah for the qada that I must in my life. In the Shafi school, they actually call it i'ada, the repeat of a salah that was must in your lifetime that you remember, even if you don't remember. It's called i'ada. So yeah, that's generally for the fara'id. Okay, we have to conclude not too long now because we have a mawlid that's going to take place now at the Masjid. But is there any other question with regards to the Meeqat before we go into Makkah again? I just want to give some features of Makkah and then we'll conclude inshallah. No Meeqat? Anyone in Meeqat? Are we good? May Allah take us to the Meeqat inshallah, Ameen. The Meeqats of Makkah inshallah, Ameen. And our local Meeqat inshallah, say Ameen. Say Ameen. So now you pass the Meeqat. Now you pass the Meeqat, right? So what now? You made your niyyah. What now? Idle? You idle? Serious must now. You haram for me. The man will be proud of only, the pro will be mind of only serious. It's haram for me. Subhanallah, don't touch. Don't look. It keeps us to kiss up. Kiss up. The Hajj is inward. The connection with Allah is not outward. The connection with Allah is inside. How you look, Allah don't worry. How you come, Allah don't worry. What's that English word they use on the Hajj, Arafah when they speak about it? How Allah responds to a person that looks disabled. With that SH. Disabled. What is disabled? And it looks like Dear Makkah. Dear Makkah. I could have just used the word Dear Makkah. I said the ship also. What does it mean? What does it mean? What is the actual meaning of that hadith? What does it mean? When the Prophet said, "I will come to Shib," Dear Makkah, what does it mean? It means that Allah is not looking at you, brother. Sister, Allah is not looking at you. Allah is looking at how you look. Allah knows you went through so much sacrifice, no sleep, 48 hours, stinking, smelling, the clothes is dirty, they will not. Allah is not worried. Allah wants to see what's inside of you. What's going on inside? What emotions are you going through? What yearning do you have now? What desires are there? What are you going to ask? What do you want? Why are you like this? Why did you come to me? What do you want from me? Subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what Allah wants. That's what Allah's looking at. And then what do you say first? Labbaik. That's the first thing I want. My first words after I make my niyyah, make myself look pretty, present myself to you, Ya Allah, labbaik. That's what I want. My first words. Before you give your husband that look and the wife that look, don't touch. Don't look. The first words that you say is what? Labbaik. Oh Allah, I want you. Oh Allah, I want you, Allah. I'm here for you, Allah. I am doing this for you. I want nothing but you. Oh Allah, gift me you. Do you know that you must ask Allah for Allah? Or do you think you're going to reach Allah just so by the way? You ask Allah for Allah. Ya Allah, gift me you, Allah. Oh Allah, I want you, Allah. Ya Allah, I want you to be close to me, Allah. Ya Allah, I want to be close to you, Allah. Ya Allah, you, Allah. And then what do you decide? Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. Inna al-hamda wal-ni'mata laka wal-mulk la sharika lak. Oh, you going to Makkah? Was Mullah Yasin already here? Did he present already? No? Oh, he's a very lucky Mullah Yasin didn't present. If you had to make the labbaik like the way you did it now, it was a Mullah Yasin. Yeah. I feel sorry for you. Mullah Yasin would have given you a nice kelly now. Please, all together inshallah. لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه. Allah take us to Makkah inshallah. Ya Rabbi, Ya Rabbi, Ya Rabbi. لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لا إله إلا الله. So very quickly in the last few minutes, let's still need to prepare for the Mawlid and we will just run through the Kaaba quickly. Inshallah. So we know the rewards of the Kaaba is 100,000 times. We will perform Salah here to receive 100,000 times reward. Prophet says whoever keeps 1 dirham in the city of Makkah, Allah writes for him also 100,000 rewards. 1 riyal, 100,000. Half a riyal, still 100,000. It is sadaqah you make in Makkah. 100,000. In the Quran you recite 100,000. Imagine you stand for Salah. You are already getting 100,000 for Salah. And in the Salah you recite Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman. For every harf in that Surah Fatiha, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. Imagine the appreciation. The thanks to Allah for spending a little money to receive so much. May Allah increase us, inshallah. Whoever glorifies Allah by reciting Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, this hadith narrated by Imam al-Nasa'i, also receives 100,000. Every good deed, also 100,000. But also keep in mind, the Prophet said, it is also precaution about the equivalent of 100,000 for the enactment of other than good. Allah protect us, Ya Rabb. Ameen. Now, so the Prophet ﷺ, before he left Makkah, to conclude shortly, the Prophet ﷺ, before he left Makkah, after he was given permission by Allah to travel to Medina, the Prophet ﷺ says, Wallahi innaka la khayrul ardi wa ahabbul ardi ilayya Wallahi lawla inni kharajtu minka ma kharajtu. The Prophet ﷺ says, by Allah, O Makkah, he turned around and looked at Makkah. And he says, Oh Makkah, by Allah, I swear I love you dearly. Had it not been that I was expelled out of Makkah, I would have not left Makkah. The Prophet ﷺ was born in Makkah. Right? So Makkah is already virtuous. But on account of his birth, Makkah became even more virtuous. Because Allah said, لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد. Allah takes an oath by the qasam of Makkah. And Allah says how great and how elevated Makkah is. But then Allah says, Ya Rasulullah, وَأَنْتَ حِلٌّ بِهَذَا الْبَلَدِ. Because you reside in it, now becomes even more virtuous. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Kaaba is very special. We'll go to this Kaaba quickly, for the sake of information. So this is the door of the Kaaba here, can you see? For those who do not know, this is the door of the Kaaba. Can you see those blocks over there? See those blocks over there? You see it? On the screen, right? So zoom. There we go. You see it? Who knows what those blocks are there for? That's an indication for something. Can I give over? Can I give over? No? It's okay, I wasn't good at over. It's good, I can see it. What's your name? What's your name? Adil?
Abdul Hadi.
Abdul Hadi? You have such a strong name and you never used to go home school? Abdul Hadi. Allah take Abdul Hadi and all of us to Makkah, inshallah. So this area, this is okay, Omar. Okay? Can I give Omar? Okay? I want you to find out what is this piece here. The small blocks. Okay? There's the door of the Kaaba. Between the door of the Kaaba and the Kaaba is this is the Hajj al-Aswad. Right? Who can tell me anything about the Hajj al-Aswad? Hajj al-Aswad is a stone from Jannah, right? It was whiter than milk when it came down. And the Prophet ﷺ says, but the sins of the Adam turned black. The Prophet ﷺ says, the dua are accepted at the Hajj al-Aswad. And the Hajj al-Aswad will be testimony to Allah on the day of Qiyamah for kissing it, waving for it, waving your hand at it, kissing your hands to indicate as if you are kissing it, and so on and so on and so on. The Prophet ﷺ says, by Allah on the day of Qiyamah, the Hajar al-Aswad will be presented to Allah in such a manner that it has two eyes and a tongue that will testify to all those that kissed it on the day of Qiyamah. Allah, Ya Allah, you kissed it, Ya Allah, you make salam to it, Ya Allah. May Allah grant us that, inshallah, that one, Ameen, inshallah, Ameen. That's the Hajar al-Aswad. So if you're able to kiss it, you kiss it. If you're able to do it, you have to just wave when you raise your hands and Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Next week we'll speak about the tawaf, and I can tell you that at the start of the tawaf, you start at the Hajar al-Aswad and you recite Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Raising your hands is part of greeting, right? It's called istilam. Raising your hands is part of greeting and kissing. By raising your hands, Imam Nawawi says you can actually kiss your hands because it would mean as if you are kissing the Hajar al-Aswad. So you don't necessarily have to go right there close by, as if it's dangerous. But if you can, alhamdulillah, if you want, it's not a big deal. Right? And if it was a big guy, then can take it back. If there was a big guy, the big guy will take it to the Hajj al-Aswad. Yes?
That blocks is in the
No, we'll get there. There's the Hajj al-Aswad over there. That's no. There's the Hajj al-Aswad over there. The door of the Kaaba. Between the door of the Kaaba and the Hajj al-Aswad is an area which is known as this area from there to there. You all follow me, right? From there to there. This small piece is known as the Multazam. very important area because lots of dalil come from that area. Touching the Kaaba. You know what actually takes a lot of time is when you have to think before you speak. Because when it's live, you must think. Otherwise, you get that angry person one hour. Anyhow, the Multazam is actually a beautiful area for the dalil of touching the Kaaba. Some people say there's no virtue in touching the Kaaba. No virtue in kissing the Kaaba. The dalil of kissing, hugging, crying against the Kaaba is this area over here, which is known as the Multazam. This area, the Prophet ﷺ came in the authentic hadith. The Prophet ﷺ came to the door of the Kaaba, stood on the left of the door of the Kaaba, between the door of the Kaaba and the Hajj al-Aswad. The Prophet ﷺ raised his hands against the wall, like this, right? Put his cheek against the Kaaba, and he made dua and supplicated to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Prophet ﷺ says, between the door of the Kaaba and the Hajj al-Aswad is the time when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not reject any dua, all du'as accepted by Allah. And he raised his hands, putting his chest against the door, against the wall of the Kaaba, hands up in the sky, cheek against the Kaaba, and the Prophet cried and cried and cried and cried. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. If you can go there, it will be very good to make dua. If you're not married and you go for Hajj and you're looking for spouse, there is a place to be. If you're married and you have no children and you wish for children, that's the place to be. If you wish for Allah to grant you long life, that's the place to be. Lots of visit, that's the place to be. Anything you want, that's the place to be. That's where the dua is mustajab. That's the place where the dua is accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's actually not the rukn of marriage, that's for home. This piece over here, what's this piece over here? This gold piece? This green one? What happened here? You don't script, no, but I do ask. It says no signal. I don't know what's going on there. But it would be nice to see it. Is it back? Yes. Okay, quickly before you decide to go crazy again. That area is the Maqam Ibrahim, the footprint of Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Again, this takes a lot of time to think about some words, but nevertheless, la bas yani. Ala Allah yani. It's for Allah. We can quote me later, and we can debate about it later. Allah says, وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى. Make the Maqam Ibrahim Musalla. After the tawaf, after the completion of 7 rounds around the Kaaba, you make salah behind the Maqam Ibrahim. Shirk. Why not make salah behind the Kaaba? Why must you make salah behind the Maqam Ibrahim? When you face the Kaaba, that's your Qibla, not the Maqam Ibrahim. But Allah is saying to you, so what Allah is telling you to make shirk, Allah is saying to you, وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى. After you perform your tawaf, you make 2 rak'at salah behind the Maqam Ibrahim. Behind the Maqam Ibrahim, Allah says not towards the Kaaba, Allah says behind the Maqam Ibrahim, facing the Kaaba. So you are facing a footprint, which is like an idol, in inverted commas, a footprint of a prophet that you're going to face the Kaaba. Shirk. No. Don't understand the deen with your small mind. Don't try to understand the deen with the little knowledge that you possess. Understand the deen from people that possess knowledge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Take from many and from awliya and salihin and pious of the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that has explained this for generation after generation after generation, such as the lives of Imam Nawawi rahimahullah, Imam Shafi'i, Abu Hanifa, for generations they have explained about what the significance is by performing salah behind the Maqam Ibrahim, facing the Kaaba. Today they say you can't put nothing in front of you, you can't make salah in front of the Mazar. Supposed to face the Kaaba, come out the Mazar and make salah. When you're facing the Mazar, you're not making shirk. Who said you make the shift? You're facing the Kaaba. You're not praying to him, or to it, or to that, whatever it is. No. You're not praying to the Maqam Ibrahim, making salah, 2 rak'ahs, for the Maqam Ibrahim. No, you're facing the Kaaba, but Allah is instructing you to do it by facing the Maqam Ibrahim to show what? Elevation, status. And Allah is elevating the status of a prophet that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed on this earth to show us the sacrifice that He made to build the Kaaba. Radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Quickly we have to finish up. Mawlud Jama'ah is here now. Tamam? Where are we now? This piece over here, this piece is called the Hijr Ismail. Right? Hijr Ismail. This is when Nabi Ibrahim ﷺ constructed a shelter for Ismail and his wife, Hajar ﷺ. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she says that she asked Rasulullah ﷺ, Ya Rasulullah, when I expressed to wish to perform salah inside the Kaaba, the Prophet ﷺ took me by my hand and led me into the Hijr Ismail, and the Prophet ﷺ says, Oh Aisha, perform salah over here. If you wish to perform salah inside the Kaaba, this is part of the Kaaba. So that area over there is part of the Kaaba. But it was just built up. But it's part of the Kaaba. So just for the sake of information, don't get lost now. Just for the sake of information, the Tawaf goes like this, right? Anti-clockwise. But if you cut a shortcut through here and going the other way around, then the circle is incomplete. Why is it incomplete? Because this is part of the Kaaba. Remember that. This is part of the Kaaba. So if you decide to take a shortcut from here, around, and take a shortcut from here and come up on the other side, that round is incomplete. Because the Prophet said that this is part of the Kaaba. Tamam? Okay, so that's all, and then there's another one. There we go. So there's the Hajar Aswad. This is now a different view now. Let me just zoom it for a little bit. There's the Hajar Aswad. Remember the Hajar Aswad looked on the other side, huh? So before the Hajar Aswad, there's an area which is known as the Rukn Yamani. The Prophet ﷺ says, between the Rukn Yamani and the Hajar Aswad is a garden of the gardens of Jannah. So, remember when you were in Medina, you were in the Rawdatul Jannah? Do you know there's a Rawdatul Jannah in Makkah also? The Rawdah of Makkah, of Jannah, is between the Rukn Yamani and the Hajar Aswad. Rukn Yamani, Hajar Aswad. The Prophet ﷺ says, this is a garden of the gardens of Jannah. That space between the Rukn Yamani and the Hajar Aswad is the garden of Jannah. As the Prophet ﷺ said, narrated by Muslim and Imam Tirmidhi rahimahullah ta'ala. So if we are here in Africa facing the Rukn Yamani, we are already heading straight towards Jannah. Say Amin. Because we're facing the pillar of Jannah. We're facing the starting pillar of Jannah. The Prophet said between this pillar and that pillar is the garden of Jannah. Right? So if that is the garden of Jannah, what must you ask Allah for? Ask Allah for Jannah. If that is the pillar between the Jannah, from one pillar to the next pillar, which is the pillars of Jannah, then without a doubt you need to ask for Jannah. So Ya Rasulullah, what do we recite, Ya Rasulullah? The Prophet said, ask Allah, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana, wa fil akhirati hasana, wa qina adhaban nar, wa adkhilna al-jannata ala barar, ya aziz, ya Rahman. That's what the Prophet said, you must ask for. He said, you must ask for Jannah. So we are in Jannah in this world. We left the Jannah to come to another Jannah, so that ultimately we will always be in Jannah, inshallah. And then of course there is Zamzam. The Prophet says, Ma Zamzam lima shuri bala. Zamzam is whatever you intended to be. I'm just looking at the lady that's doing that parcels over there. So we still have time because she's struggling to make a flower. So we still have a few minutes. Then you get Safa and Marwa. Do I have a picture of Safa and Marwa? Can you just check it here? Ah, look at this. This is a scary picture now. Yes. Okay, it's better that you see it now that you know that electricity is going to be like that. So that is Safa and Marwa. After you perform Tawaf, you need to go to Safa and Marwa. So this is part of the virtue of Makkah. where Allah, in every occasion, Allah is elevating a prophet. Nabi Ibrahim, Nabi Ismail, Prophet ﷺ, Hajar Aswad. You know Hajar Aswad? I think it was Sayyidina Umar that said to the Hajar Aswad, he looked at the Hajar Aswad, and he pointed to the Hajar Aswad. Either Sayyidina Umar or Sayyidina Ali. I can't recall now. But nevertheless, they pointed to the Hajar Aswad. And said, oh Hajar Aswad, if Rasulullah ﷺ didn't kiss you, I would have kissed you. If the Prophet didn't kiss you, I would have kissed you. Because you just a stone. You just a stone. But because I saw my Prophet kiss you, you now become more virtuous. You now become more special. Because my Prophet kissed you and I will kiss you. Because he kissed you. And hence kissing of the Hajar Aswad is part of the Sunnah of the companions, the Sunnah of Rasulullah ﷺ. So that's the Safa and Marwa. So what happened Safa Marwa? Sayyidina Hajra went from Safa to Marwa, right? What was she looking for? Water for Nabi Ismail. Until eventually Nabi Ismail moved his feet, right? And then Zamzam gushed out of the ground, right? And then for the Zamzam to drink from it, she had to obviously make like a closing so that the water doesn't disperse, goes off. So she closed it and said zoom, zoom, zoom. To make it like close, so that you have to drink. Some of the scholars have to say, had she not done that, the Zamzam would have reached all the worlds. Had she not made like a heel top type of thing to close off the water of Zamzam would have reached all the world. She made that zoom, zoom, therefore it's known as Zamzam. And then Nabi Ismail drank from it. The Prophet says, Ma'u Zamzam lima shuriba lahu. Zamzam is for whatever you intended to be. Ya Allah, with the niyat of shifa. Ya Allah, with the niyat of fight. Ya Allah, with the niyat of manulil. Ya Allah, with the niyat of clear. Ya Allah. Can't go take it off. I wonder how he was as a teacher in school. It would have been interesting to know. But Ma'u Zamzam lima shuriba lahu. Whatever you intend Zamzam to be, that is Zamzam. Right? Especially for shifa. There's a special dua. Right? You can go back to the video and memorize this dua. Very important dua. The Prophet ﷺ made this dua after drinking Zamzam. Allahumma rzuqna ilman nafi'an wa rizqan wasi'an wa shifa'an min kulli da'. This is the dua the Prophet made. Allahumma rzuqna ilman nafi'an. Allah grant me beneficial knowledge. Ameen inshallah. Wa rizqan wasi'an. Allah grant me abundance in rizq. Allah put barakah in our rizq inshallah. Allah grant that we are able to afford going for this Hajj inshallah. Don't look at the pocket. Don't look at the pocket. Allah sort you out. Don't look at the pocket. Don't look at the numbers. Don't look at numbers. Don't look at the numbers. If Allah wants you there, Allah will make a way for you to be there. It will come in all directions. Don't look at your pocket. Right? Allahumma rzuqna ilman nafi'an wa rizqan wasi'an wa shifa'an min kulli da'. Oh Allah, grant me cure from all types of diseases. You know that how vast is that dua? You know what's all types of diseases? Actually, the auntie still starting to put that flower on, so we still have a little bit more time. She actually took it off because she's so very nervous. She actually took it off, she's going to make a new flower now. وَشِفَاءً مِنْ كُلِّ دَاءٍ. Maybe kita nanti Zamzam. وَشِفَاءً مِنْ كُلِّ دَاءٍ. And Allah grant me cure from all types of diseases. You know what's all types of diseases? We only know of the apparent type of disease. But it's internal disease also. You know what's the internal disease? Hasad. You know what's hasad? We are in Cape Town, we say the word hasad the beast. It sounds nicer in Cape Town than in the Arab countries. In the Arab countries, it's a hasad. It sounds like, no, it sounds like a romantic word. You're in Cape Town, hasad, you want to find. That must be a bad word. Hasad. Keep it. In the south, if you hear the word keep it, don't sound so bad. But here, it's keep it, it can go along. I only learned this word, its meaning in Cape Town. I didn't learn it in other countries. Because of how ugly it sounds, it must be something like it. It's like, yo, that must be very bad. That's internal disease. Zamzam cleans that from inside. Zamzam removes hasad. Zamzam removes kibr. Zamzam removes pride, ostentation, nice English words. Zamzam removes all bad from your body from inside. Bad thoughts, darkness, all that. That's what Zamzam does. La ilaha illallah. So the homework for next week, inshallah. What were those dots? Those markings over there. Right? At the Safa and Marwa, between Safa and Marwa, you make the tawaf. Come, you make the sa'i between Safa and Marwa. And more about that will be explained, of course, on the day that we're going to be doing the tawaf and the sa'i. I think Mu'allim is probably Mu'allim is doing that, right? Mu'allim is doing that next week. Mu'allim will give more detail. Today we're just giving you a highlight of what is all about, what's Makkah all about. And that is generally what Makkah is all about. And of course, then we ask Allah that Allah grant us a safe passage towards Makkah to Mukarramah. Allah grant all that are present, even the Mawlud Jummah, all our children, everyone. Allah take us to Makkah, inshallah. Allah take us to Medina, inshallah. The Mawlid is done for what reason? The Mawlid is done for the journey for Rasulullah. That's why the Mawlid is done. Why you do a Mawlid? Why did it come and all dress in blue today? And put up a nice bahansal over there? That's for the yearning of Rasulullah. Is to desire Rasulullah. Is to be close to Rasulullah. Is to be in the company of Rasulullah. So when it's presented to Rasulullah, it's going to be presented beautifully. It's going to be presented while Rasulullah is happy with us. A group of aunties, group of brothers, group of children have come to the Masjid. And they have elevated you, Ya Rasulullah. And they have celebrated you, Ya Rasulullah. And they have honored you, Ya Rasulullah. And they have given thanks to Ya Rasulullah, shukr to Ya Rasulullah. For making us understand what the Hajj is about. Without Rasulullah, there's no Hajj. We have not known how to make salah without Rasulullah. We have not known what is Hajj about without Rasulullah. We have not known how to even drink Zamzam without Rasulullah. We have not known what it is to stand in front of the Kaaba without understanding it from Rasulullah. So I think that Auntie is done now with her declaration. And may Allah accept the Mawlid from them, inshallah. May Allah accept our gathering here this afternoon. May Allah grant us the tawfiq, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant that our intentions become a reality. We stand before Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sayyidina Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Subhanallah wa bihamdika. Wa la nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Salamun ala al-mursalin. Alhamdulillah. So just for you, some people ask request the book. I have a book here in front. It's a Umrah guide. It's very basic. A very basic Umrah guide. That's on sale.